Joining us now are New York Times national political correspondents Jonathan Martin and Alexander Burns. They are the authors of the forthcoming book, This Will Not Pass, Trump, Biden, and the Battle for America's Future. Mr. Burns, Mr. Martin, thank you very much for being with us tonight, and congratulations on this book.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Let me first just ask both of you, give you each a chance to chime in if I got any of that wrong, or if I put the emphasis in the wrong place, or got any of it just the wrong way around.
No, I think you very much captured it. And I would just say for the book-buying audience out there, for people who work in politics, this is only the start. We have captured some of the most intimate and sensitive conversations in the extraordinary period following January 6th on tape. And there is much more to come between now and when the book is out on May 3rd. But what you played there really does capture, Rachel, where Kevin McCarthy was. He was looking for a way out. He thought Trump had become toxic. He was Trump's biggest ally during the 4 years of the Trump presidency. And here he is looking for an escape hatch. How do I get rid of this soon-to-be former president? And what do I have to do to sort of make myself cleanse from him somehow, some way? And he comes to, maybe I have to ask him to resign, which, of course, famously is what Barry Goldwater did with President Nixon during the Watergate scandal. What's different here is that in the subsequent weeks, Kevin McCarthy realized there was not the will in his caucus to make such a call to President Trump, and that his members were deferring to their voters who just did not want to move on President Trump. They weren't angry at him over January 6th, and McCarthy is down at Mar-a-Lago before the month is out and patching up his relationship with President Trump. And now we know that they're back together again.
Well, thank you both. I have to thank you for allowing us to hear and to play for our audience the recording that backs up your reporting here. Alex, I have to just ask what you make of the fact that Mr. McCarthy and his office is denying that this ever happened, denying explicitly to New York, to NBC News today when we followed up with him about their denial on this, explicitly clarifying that he never suggested he was going to make this kind of a call to Donald Trump. It really does appear to not be the truth from Mr. McCarthy.
Well, that's a pretty diplomatic way of putting it, Rachel. It was a totally bogus denial, as your audience just heard. And I think that what this moment captures, in addition to everything Jonathan just said, and what this tape in particular captures, is just the staggering gulf between what Republican leaders say about Donald Trump in public and to his face, and what they will say about him in private. And I don't know that anybody should find it terribly reassuring that Kevin McCarthy is more clear-eyed about Donald Trump and the dangerous force that he represented in January of 2021, that he is more clear-eyed about that in private than he is in public. Because, Rachel, this is an ongoing story. We all know Donald Trump is preparing to run for president again. We all know the way he talks about what happened in the 2020 election and the way he talks about what he believes should happen in the 2024 election. And if past performance is any indicator of future results, what you heard on that tape and then what Kevin McCarthy did subsequently to hold Donald Trump to account, which was nothing, is a pretty ominous story about the future.
And I don't mean to be Pollyanna about this at all, or naive, but it seems to me that I sort of expect a certain level from politicians in particular, that of saying one thing in public and saying it another way in private, certainly speaking more harshly, less diplomatic terms in private. What I don't expect is for even public officials, even politicians, to flat out lie about what they have said when it is on the record, when they have reason to believe it might have even been recorded, and they just lie and deny that it happened. I think this creates a real problem for Mr. McCarthy. I think he must at least apologize. I would not be surprised if there would not sign calls for his resignation for him lying and denying that he did this when, in fact, he did it. But, of course, he answers to his caucus.